Salisu, corner kick. Doesn't be the first man, but then the header comes in and it's in the back of the net. John Martin, not sure how much he knew about it. He scored at Villa Park last weekend, and he's done it again. Here's Madsen, Bennington's reset. Madsen scores! Josh Madsen wins game one.
The drive across the lane, kicks it back out. Strus, long three-pointer. It's good! Max Strus from way down. Tatum. Tucker guarding him. Cross court to Brown. Brown, a corner three. Got it! Jaylen Brown with a couple of three-pointers. It's team number 4. Butler pulls back. One-on-one with Tatum. Backing in, spins, falling away. It's good! Jimmy Butler with
Jimmy Butler going off last night. Miami Heat. Big night, big sports night in Miami. This is interesting to see your daily sports podcast. News, narratives, takes. And gambling is a big night in the association. We're going to get to baseball at some point, I swear to God. It's going to happen. I think, probably. Maybe. It might happen. I don't know. It's May. So, yeah, let's get going. Don't forget, you like, rate, review, subscribe if you give a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That's helpful to me. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way, etc. You can watch this episode with your eyes, Spotify and YouTube.com. And, yeah, the more people that watch and listen, the more I will do it. I am planning a hiatus in June and July just to see how it goes. And based on current data, I suspect I might do this for like another year unless it gets significantly more traction. So we'll see how that goes. While everyone is talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, let's talk about sports ball. So we'll start in the NBA with the NBA lottery, and everybody's always complaining that this is rigged. I'm not sure. I think that it is, kind of. But remember, New Orleans got the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago with Zion, and we find out that that's not that's not the guy that you wanted. You probably wanted Ja Morant, I would assume. He turned out to be much better. The number 1 overall pick in the draft is awarded to the Orlando Magic, followed by Oklahoma City Thunder. They have 2 picks in the top 14 in the lottery. Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets, Sacramento Kings, Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, Portland Trail Blazers, New Orleans Pelicans, San Antonio Spurs, Washington Wizards. Everybody forgets that they're a franchise, man. Everyone forgets that they're a franchise. The New York Knickerbockers, the Oklahoma City Thunder again, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is interesting because they made the playoffs. So these are the teams that are going to be drafting in the order they are going to be drafting. Those guys that you see right there, that's Chet Holmgren. I don't know who the other 2 guys are. I know Chet because he's so skinny and tall. He's going to be a good player, though. He's like super tall. I think he's from Minnesota. Just so skinny and tall. And I think he's going to be number 1 overall. I don't know. I guess let's just do a quick NBA mock draft. NBA mock drafts are super popular on the internet. They get a ton of clicks, but I don't know why. I guess a lot of people are really into it. I don't. NBA mock drafts to me, they seem like the top 5 picks matter. The rest of them really don't. Okay, so here we got Jabari Smith Jr., that's the guy from Auburn. Chet Holmgren, the guy from Gonzaga. Paolo Banchero, that's the guy from Duke. So that's who we saw in the pictures. Jaden Ivey, that's the guard guy from Purdue. Shaden Sharp, Kentucky. Of course, Kentucky's going to have like 9 guys in here. Keegan Murray from Iowa. Jeremy Sochan from Baylor. Benedict. Oh, man, Benedict. I want the guy named Benedict. If I had a team in the lottery, I would want the Benedict guy. That's a sick name. What a sick name for a kid. Yeah, a lot of Duke. G League. That guy skipped college to go to the G League. He's going to be a top 10 pick. Jalen Duren. Yeah, see, here's a guy from New Zealand. First international guy in the draft is mocked at 12. See, I don't know any of these people. I get so into March Madness, but every year in March Madness, if there aren't like freaky prospects, I don't know who they are. I remember Joel Embiid and Andrew Wiggins when they were with Kansas, and there have been a bunch of guys with Duke. I don't know who the prospects are unless they're super highly touted and in the tournament. And I frankly I just can't care that much. So we've got some quirks about the NFL schedule. We'll touch on the NFL before we get into the playoffs and Premier League football. Nailed that. So a couple interesting things from the schedule that I kind of liked. The Steelers are opening on the road for the 8th consecutive year, which is fascinating. The Lions don't have any primetime games. Again, fascinating, especially when you consider that the Lions will have Hard Knocks and that not a lot of teams on Hard Knocks move the needle anymore, but people really want to see the Lions because Dan Campbell is such a good quote. So that's kind of interesting. The lead owner, I don't think he's the sole owner, but the lead owner for the New York Football Giants is not happy that the Giants are hosting a Monday night game on the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah, which will, I believe, devout Jews are not allowed to, they won't be allowed to watch in New York City. And there are not a lot of highly Jewish markets in the United States compared to how many just highly Christian markets there are. So like New York, essentially the Northeast Coast, Florida, and coastal California are markets that would be greatly affected by this. Of course, like the Dodgers would be a problem for like LA teams. And John Mara not happy about this, which I mean, I get that. You can't have like a huge portion of the fan base, including, I don't know if he is Jewish, but I'd be mad. But that being said, a lot of people are Christian and we play games on Christmas all the time. And I believe Tiger Woods' famous chip shot at Augusta happened on Easter. I guess it's up to the devout person. Mormons don't really participate in sports on Sundays ever. It's one of the reasons that BYU is so annoying to invite to big conferences, even though, they're joining the Pac-12. I forgot about, or the Pac-12, the Big 12. But one of the reasons that the Pac-12 would not invite BYU is that devout Mormons and a Mormon-run school is not going to play on Sunday. And the Pac-12 plays a lot on Sunday. So, this is, this is one of those things where he's right to be annoyed, but that's how it goes, man. We might do a whole NFL quirky schedule thing at some point. The Bears have, 4 straight home games to end the season. They're going to look at some interesting, fun little nuggets for you in the NFL schedule. Okay, let's go to the NHL and the NBA playoffs. We'll start in the NHL because there's more going on. 2 games last night, 2 games tonight. The most important storyline from last night's NHL games was the Florida series, which I thought was going to be lit, was boring as shit. It was unbelievably slow. It was awful. It wasn't playoff hockey. It was like the Panthers were scared of the Lightning, and as a result of that, they got beat. They went up 1-0. The comeback Cats, they're so good at comebacks. They came back from down 3-0 and I think 4-0 or something. They came back twice. They're one of the best comeback teams I've ever seen in my years watching hockey. They went up 1-0. They didn't know what to do with that. Nobody started any fights. It was the exact opposite of round 1. In Tampa, the more experienced team took it to them. They ended up winning the game 3-1 on the road. In Colorado, Colorado wins their second overtime game. They're 5-0 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think the Blues tied it up 2-2. They go to overtime. Colorado wins it. Colorado's probably the best team in the NHL. I do like Florida to win the Cup. At least I did till last night. They have to care quite a bit more than they did in that game. Games coming up tonight include the Carolina Hurricanes, and we've got news on that. Barstool Sports, located in New York City. New York finally has a team in the playoffs. Last year they had the Knicks. This year they have the Rangers. They're just really hanging on for dear life. Quote, the Carolina Hurricanes are a direct result of what happens in a society that tries to rid itself of bullying. These are a bunch of dorks who deserve to get bullied mercilessly. Why is it saying this? They don't sell tickets to people who aren't from North Carolina. In an effort to prevent Rangers fans from entering PNC Arena, anyone outside North Carolina has been barred from buying tickets for round 2 games between the Rangers and the Hurricanes. It's honestly to save New Yorkers. There's no atmosphere crazier than the Carolina Hurricanes right now in the NHL, and they're really good, and I think that there would be a problem. I don't know. The South is underrated when it comes to sports in environments, and I would say that if you've never watched college football and you think that New Yorkers are going to be fussy about sports, I don't know that you would want to go. But regardless, People are complaining about that. That game starts at 7, then I think at 9:30, 10, somewhere in there. The Battle of Alberta A. Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. In the NBA, the Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors, Luka Doncic, and Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is not good, but Luka's good. So we'll see if he can continue. We saw some things where after the Devin Booker stuff happened in Game 5 and the Suns blew out the Mavericks, since that point, Luka out-rebounded Phoenix's top rebounder, out-assisted Phoenix's top passer, and outscored Phoenix's top scorer, all of which are 3 different people. So he out-rebounded DeAndre Ayton, he out-assisted Chris Paul, and he outscored Devin Booker after Booker got in his face. Ooh, yeah. So, I mean, I've always thought that Devin Booker is really good. I didn't think he was the echelon of like a Steph Curry or a Kevin Durant or even like a Joel Embiid, and I don't know, those are all different positions, but I mean like a guy that's like a guy. Yeah, well, Luka is one of those, like a LeBron kind of guy. And Devin is not. That is not. I didn't know that stat. That is a crazy stat. So I like the Mavs to win one of these games and then Golden State to just wreck them. Yeah, Draymond Green is the defensive guy for Golden State's just going to absolutely piss everybody off. I suspect how this is happening. That's sort of my guess. I can't wait to watch the Carolina game tonight. Hopefully there will be some actual playoff hockey happening, and someone will be excited to play. I don't know if I'm going to bet on any of this stuff, though. I don't like any of the series that much. I would love to watch the Canadian series, but folks, I'm old. Can only watch that one on the weekends. I would love them to get a day game. Please, for the love of God, give them a day game. Like, rate, review, subscribe. We'll be back and better than ever tomorrow morning, wherever podcasts are found, etc., etc.